Today on 2+U Nevada.
And so our ecosystems that we live in are used to fire, so they're natural. They're going to happen, but they're stressful.
It's Fire Prevention Week, and we live in fire country. We delve into how to prepare for an evacuation and how to talk to your kids about fire.
A big part of it has been to ensure that our findings, discoveries, and innovations can lead to social cultural impact.
It's Hispanic Heritage Month, the great lengths being made throughout the decades by the Latino Research Center at the University of Nevada, Reno.
Back then, people were dying, people were scared, but now people are on medications. They can live to be 80, 90 years old. So the young people are not afraid of it anymore.
HIV/AIDS is still a very real STI. Awareness is key to prevention. We sit down with advocacy organization Accept and discuss the massive funding cut to this year's budget. You're watching 2+U Nevada. Thank you for joining us for this edition of 2+U Nevada. I'm Sarah Johns, your host. Now, I'm not a good holiday decorator. Heck, I'm not a good normal day-to-day home decorator. But I digress. We don't even have Halloween decorations up yet, and I'm thinking about the December holidays. We celebrate Christmas in our home, and guess what? I just bought my first Christmas gift over the weekend. It's my effort to spread out the spending, and it's something that I started doing last year. But guess what? Over the weekend, I also found some gifts that I forgot to give last year. I guess that's the whole perimenopause brain thing. But I want to know, is that something you're doing? PricewaterhouseCoopers recently published a Holiday Outlook survey, which shows consumers expect to spend less this year than last on holiday gifts by about 5%. That's the first notable drop since 2020, and that was during COVID. It is worth noting the PwC findings reflect consumer sentiment captured back in June, so who knows if that's still the same sentiment today. All I know is this year I'm going to be more mindful of where I'm hiding everything. At least last year's gifts that I found over the weekend are still relevant for this season. We've got a great show for you today. Speaking of shopping, did you know today is National Consignment Day? In celebration of smart, sustainable shopping, we head to a local consignment store with deep Northern Nevada roots. And empowering women through education and career advancement. All the ways Nevada Women's Fund is uplifting families in the Silver State. We are thrilled to have you joining us today for 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada. Joining us this afternoon, Megan Kay, Manager of Living with Fire with the University of Nevada Extension. Megan, thank you so much for being here. Of course, we are in the middle of Fire Prevention Week. And so now is the perfect time for us to be discussing fire prevention, fire awareness, especially since we've seen some really big fires in November and December months.
Yes, and you can probably speak to that, but having experience, we were talking off camera earlier that
I've been evacuated.
You've been evacuated, right?
Yes.
So yeah, in Northern Nevada, we tend to have heavier fire years more fire activity later in the year. So September, October, November, and even December. One of our most destructive fires in Reno happened in December.
February, right?
No, I think it was like New Year's Eve.
Oh gosh, yes, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And like you said, so we were evacuated during what I like to call the second Cullen Ranch fire.
Yes.
I'm not entirely, but I think Pine Haven was the name.
I think
of
it was Pine Haven, yeah.
Yeah, and one thing, I'm going to go out of order. One thing is our kids were quite young. They were toddler age, and talking about fire and talking about evacuations with children is something that you guys are actually developing.
Yeah, so wildfires, although they're natural disturbance, our ecosystems that we live in are used to fire, so they're natural. They're going to happen, but they're stressful and they can be traumatic. So when talking about fire with our families, it's important to remember that our little ears are listening and they're processing. So we want to talk about it, but we want to talk about it in an age-appropriate way and acknowledge the feelings of everyone in the family, including the youngest members. So,
And And in the near future, you're going to have some learning documents to provide our schools, summer camps, and all of that.
Yeah, so we recognize this as a need to be able to communicate with kids about fire. So we're developing our Living with Fire Children's Activity Book. It's actually going through peer review right now. So we sent it out to our colleagues to kind of take a look at it, give some revisions, and hopefully that will be ready early 2026. And then we're going to have a guide, a facilitator's guide along with it. So camp leaders, teachers, we're going to do some workshops on how to teach
fantastic
kids. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into some nitty gritty for folks at home. If you have to evacuate, what are some key things when it comes to an evacuation plan?
Well, when it comes to an evacuation plan, first you want to know if a wildfire is happening in your community. So that's number one. You need to stay informed. So you can go to your county emergency manager's website and figure out what system they use to notify their residents. In Washoe County, it's Smart 911. And if you go to Washoe County Emergency Management website or just Google Washoe County Smart 911, you can sign up.
And one thing that I want to interject is because we were using Code Red, they switched from Code Red to this new plan, and you said all of that information has already been transferred, but only for 1 year. You need to actually go in.
Yeah, so I think if you were enrolled in like City of Reno utilities, for example, like if you pay a water bill, they did migrate some information over, but that's not forever. So you need to go in and actually create your account. And what's cool about Smart 911 is you can add pet information, you can add kids, any specific information about your house that emergency managers might want us to know. And it's not just for fire, it's for if an ambulance has to come to your home for whatever reason, and there's something you want to let the first responders know, you can put that in there.
Perfect. Okay, so you also need a go bag, a home inventory. Let's talk about that.
So home inventory is really important, especially when it comes to insurance and knowing exactly what your assets are. A lot of people are underinsured. If you have valuables in your home that aren't necessarily on your home insurance policy, or maybe you did some improvements to your home, if something happens, hopefully it never does, but if something happens, you have to file an insurance claim. You actually have to have proof that you have those assets inside your home. So
a quick tip from my insurance agent is every time you change your clocks, take a video with your cell phone of every single room, email it to yourself, because you may not have a computer if you got evacuated. You may not have the physical evidence, but if you emailed those videos to yourself, you'll be able to remotely access your email.
That's a great tip. I'm actually going to steal that tip.
Okay, perfect.
When you, every time you reset your clocks. Yeah. So just a quick cell phone video is really what you need.
We've got about a minute left. So let's talk defensible space. Because you were telling me, and I just think of 30 feet, but you're saying that folks need to actually focus on the 5 feet also.
Yeah, I mean, the area of, from your home 30 feet out is very important, but if you're looking for a place to start when creating that defensible space, just start with your front door and work out. So that means looking at the 0 to 5 foot zone all the way around your house and your deck and any attached garages. And if you have unattached structures, it includes that as well. So you have to do defensible space around there. And the whole point of defensible space is to reduce the fire intensity. So if a fire is coming into your landscape, like in Color Ranch, for example, we can't necessarily stop the fire, but if we can create an environment where the fire goes from a more intense to a lower intense fire, then that'll give crews space to safely come in and defend your home.
Okay, well, we're going to wrap things up. But the extension has some amazing publications like this one, Living with Fire Defensible Space Guide. Also, Be Ember Aware. This guide is a fantastic resource, not to necessarily redo your home, but take a look at your existing home. And these are downloadable digitally really quick. We've got 10 seconds. Give us your website.
Livingwithfire.org.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here, Megan.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada, and I am here with Joe and Regina Bradley with Bradley, Drendel, and Jeanney. And both of you, thank you so much for being here today to talk to our audience about the law and their legal rights. And your firm is one of the longest running firms in Northern Nevada and the first as a personal injury law firm.
Well, we like to think of ourselves as the original personal injury law firm in Northern Nevada and arguably in all of Nevada, because Las Vegas back in the early 50s didn't really exist, you know. So we've been at this for an awfully long time, representing injured clients and doing our best to help them out.
So let's talk about your clientele. Let's talk about the type of cases that you handle and really and truly the misconception of personal injury lawyers here in town.
Well, you know, you hear all the jokes about ambulance chasers and so on and so forth, but really, we're the key to the courthouse for many people. We represented people in the Galaxy airline crash back in the 1980s. We represented people from all over the United States who were most profoundly injured in the air race crash of 2009 or 10. And we get involved in serious cases for people that need serious help.
And Regina, talk to me about, it's not just car crashes. We could be talking about nursing home abuse or defective products or even something that I might not know that you handle. Kind of go into the other areas of personal injury.
That's correct. So whether it's premise liability, if someone is injured at either a homeowner's property or a business, or if we have a minor that might be injured at a school, we're willing to take on cases. And when someone calls in, they will speak to us. They will speak to an attorney to consult about their injury or their case. And we will walk them through whether they have a claim that we can represent them on and that we can advance on their behalf.
And you know, you just brought something up. As a parent, one of the things that I am deeply concerned about is having friends come over to play with my children for some sort of play date, and those friends get injured. So what would your recommendation be to anybody out there who just ensure that your home is safe? How do you do that?
Absolutely. So what I explain to someone when they come in and they feel uncomfortable with a personal injury claim, or they feel that they might be suing or going after that person individually, I explain you have insurance for a reason. So that's why you would have good homeowners insurance or car insurance, and you're legally obligated to have both. So it's important that you have good coverage and good insurance. So in the event that an accident does happen, which they do, you're covered.
100%. And then Joe, talk to me about some of the ethos behind personal injury law. You know, you really are there to help someone get their life back.
Well, that's absolutely correct, because in a lot of these, especially catastrophic injuries, people lose their jobs. Their mortgage may be at risk. They can't pay their bills. And we step in and we pick up the pieces of their lives and we start to put their lives back together, and we can even protect their assets. We can protect their home. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we put them back, hopefully, in a position of being at least financially better off than they were, and able to pick up the pieces and move on with their life.
And this is a family business. You know, obviously both of you, Joe and Regina Bradley, have the same last name. This is something that has carried on for generations here in Northern Nevada. Explain to me what it's like to have this family come together to help other families in our community.
Well, I will just start by saying I'm just so profoundly proud of my daughter and her husband, who is in our firm. Gina is now the third generation of Bradleys to be involved with the law firm, and I'll let Gina explain what it's like for her to be in our firm.
Yeah, working with your dad and your husband.
I'm so proud to carry on the tradition, and I believe in the values of Bradley, Drendel, and Jeanney, and I believe here as a resident of Northern Nevada that we do need to be the voice of the people and represent our community members, and it's really a privilege to do that alongside my dad and my husband.
And Regina, if somebody has a situation that they feel might be a case and they want to talk to you, where do they go? How do they reach you?
So they can call our law firm. Our phone number is 775-335-9999. And our guarantee is that you'll be able to speak with one of us. You will be able to speak and consult with an attorney. And that's important to us as Northern Nevada's original personal injury law firm. We're here, we're in the office, so you can come to our office, you can call us, but we'll be here to talk to you and consult with you about your claim.
Joe, Regina, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. You are watching 2+U Nevada. are watching 2+U Nevada, and today is National Consignment Day. So we are here at Consign Furniture with Remington Rock. Thank you so much for having us this afternoon.
Oh, thank you so much for coming. We'd love to have you here.
I got to tell you, this is just, I'm so excited to come here and spend money because you guys are the best place to find furniture in town.
Yeah, we receive 600 to 800 new items on a weekly basis. So definitely come down, see what you're missing, find your new treasure.
And you furnish every single room.
We definitely do. We have everything from accessories all the way to any furnishings that you're looking for any room.
While today is National Consignment Day, what is so unique about this store and your model is, yes, you do have consignment furniture, but you also have new and unique pieces as well.
We do. If you're not finding what you want on the floor in consignment, then just see one of us and we can definitely order from numerous vendors. And we do floor some new as well. This location isn't necessarily big enough to floor too much new, but if you're looking for new, we're the place as well.
And when it comes to this warehouse, how large is it?
It's 36,000 square feet of ever-changing furniture on a daily basis.
And ever-changing, yes.
Ever-changing.
Ever-changing. So how many new pieces do you receive from the community each week?
So right now in this peak of the year, we're around 800 per week, in and out.
Wow.
A lot of labor put into it.
That is insane. And why is this considered the peak of the year? Is it because people are going through and getting ready for the holidays? Is it that this is kind of the season of purging?
Both. You know, when it's a little bit warm, people like to get out, and they also see that they need to maybe move some stuff out for the winter when they're going to spend the rest of the winter inside their home, maybe change it up a little bit. So just over, you know, the 18 years in business, we've just seen from spring usually to the end of fall is where we peak in season. So.
And 18 years in business. You are entrenched in our community.
Yes.
In fact, I just learned Remington Rock is your name.
Yes.
Rock Boulevard is your ancestor.
Yes, it is. It was named after my great-grandfather years ago, and we've been in this community for a long, long time. So I believe my daughters are fifth-generation Renoites. So.
That's so cool.
Yes.
So this truly is a local business.
This is truly a local business, family owned and run, so yes.
Family owned and run, locally sourced furniture. And what I love about this too is the sustainable model of consignment and consigned furniture.
Yes, we're doing our best not to put things into the dump or the wasteland. So come to Consign Furniture, recycle pieces, and know that every piece that you do see here is not junky. We definitely keep standards on what we do take in. So when you come in, you'll definitely see it's not just a normal thrift store.
What is your favorite piece right now? And by the time somebody runs into the store, it will be gone.
My favorite piece right now, honestly, is probably the bronze drafts. We get really unique items on a constant basis. It's been amazing over the 18 years just to see the things that have come through the door.
And so unique, too. It already has a sold sign on it, but I love this bar over here.
Yes, Restoration Hardware bar. It's a replica of the first light bulb tester, and they turned it into a bar.
And that's the kind of thing that you can't just find in a catalog.
No, you're definitely not going to find it at the big box stores that basically carry pretty much the same thing year round. So.
And I also noticed rugs.
Rugs, accessories, art, anything you could possibly be looking for, we're the ones to come see.
I understand because it is National Consignment Day that you might be doing a little promo.
We are doing a little promo. So 6th and 7th, we will be doing 15% off for all customers online and in store. So if you need a new piece, definitely come down and see us and we'll take great care of you.
And if you want to sell your piece on consignment, what I love about your business model too is that you do pickup.
We do. We have our own in-house transportation team, so they will come out, review the furnishings that you may have, go ahead and fill out contract, inventory everything they're bringing back to the store, bring it back, we'll get it priced and on our floor and get it sold and get you 50% of the proceeds.
What is the hidden secret to this store? When somebody walks in, what do they need to know about the way the store is set up or where to go for their specific need?
Well, we kind of have everything set up generally in the front as kind of a mixture of all items. So if you're looking for that specific piece, we have set up the store to where each individual category is categorized throughout the store. So if you need help and you're looking for some specific, just ask us and we'll make sure a customer service representative gets you right to the piece you love.
I remember when I bought our cabinet, I was looking for a specific cabinet, obviously for one of the kids' rooms. And when you walk in the store, it's that way, to your left. And it's great because you walk down this beautiful aisle, and I love the pieces that you have right now.
Oh yeah, they're always just so unique. It's not stuff you're gonna find on an everyday basis. So if you're definitely looking for something unique that you can't find at the big box stores, we're the place to come.
And you also go from modern to the cabin look, and you really can furnish any type of decor for our region.
Oh yeah, definitely so. Any genre you're looking for, come see us. We carry it all.
Okay, so you said online. Where do people go online? Where do they, who do they call to set up an appointment for pickup? And what's your address?
So address is 6865 Sierra Center Parkway. We're right next to the big Target in South Reno. If you're looking for us online, visit www.consignfurniturenow.com, and our phone number is 775-824-0222.
Remington, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada, and joining us this afternoon, Dr. Japhet Sanchez of the Latino Research Center. Japhet, it is so nice to have you here this afternoon.
It's my honor to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you. So we invited you here because we are in the middle of Hispanic Heritage Month, which oddly is September 15th to October 15th. And there's always discussion, which month is Hispanic Heritage Month? Why is it shared between 2 months?
Yes, we are just excited to enjoy that monthly timeline. It starts at the beginning of various Independence Days across the country. I think it really gives recognition to the global experience of having that heritage background. And so we're just excited to have a month that helps to spotlight a community that has long been, in the need of being able to address the important contributions that have come about.
Well, that's amazing. And there is thought put into the September 15th to October 15th. So glad to hear that. Yes. Latino Research Center has been around, I can't get over this, 20 years.
Yes, we just had our 20-year celebration, and we were so glad to have so many people join us. It opened in fall of 2004, and we wanted to celebrate by having a mural that would commemorate that celebration and the experience of the Latino Research Center.
And we have video of that mural from that grand opening. Absolutely gorgeous. Give us some of the highlights of what we're looking at here.
Yes, we were fortunate enough to have Edwin Martinez Escobar be our artist. And he basically got a few things of criteria, which were to ensure that it would create a sense of belonging, that it had vibrancy, and that anybody who looked at it wouldn't think of one nationality, but to really expand to all communities. And at the same time, to have it be educational and ensure that it would create an opportunity to just learn more about Hispanic Latino contributions through stories and different things that could come about.
And he did this piece behind us as well, and what can also be seen up there on the monitor.
Yes.
An absolute amazing artist.
We're just honored to have his work, be part of our institution, and he's been able to highlight the history of Nevada and also where we are going forward. So with this, we have a conference coming up next month, which essentially closes out Hispanic Heritage Month for us. And we wanted to have a theme and a topic that would have an imagery with it. And this is what he came up with. So yeah, it's beautiful. We're just so grateful.
Absolutely gorgeous. Now let's talk specifically about the Latino Research Center. For those who don't know, you are a nonprofit here in town. Again, You've been around 2 decades and then some. What's your main focus and what are you elevating?
Thank you. Yes, the Latino Research Center really focuses on ensuring that we serve as a nexus between the Latino community and the university. And we do that through 4 areas: by fostering research collaborations, supporting student achievement, and really being engaged in advocacy and outreach. And throughout 20 years, that 20-year timeline, I should say, we have really been focused on ensuring that the work of the Latino Research Center could be building bridges, and in that being a nexus with the university, a big part of it has been to ensure that our findings, discoveries, and innovations can lead to social cultural impacts in our communities and then, of course, beyond. So we're just so grateful to continue the work.
Well, we are so grateful to have you here this afternoon. Jeannette, you are such a light in our community. So
you.
I'm honored to have you here this afternoon. For anyone who's interested in donating or helping the Latino Research Center, where do they go?
Yes, we have a Latino Research Center .unr.edu page. So it's really simple to do a search and find. We also have various social media avenues, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, and others that we know are very common, Instagram for many. We also, if you visit the University of Nevada, Reno page, you're able to find right on our landing page, you see a donate button, and we always accept donations because, as you said, as a nonprofit, we do rely on the support of our community. We also have some grant opportunities which help fund a lot of our research endeavors, but even this work that we discussed with the mural, it was completely community funded, and it just shows the commitment from our community. So we're so grateful for the support.
Jeannette, with communities being historically underrepresented, explain how the Latino Research Center is helping those communities, and especially first-generation students.
When I started as a student at the University of Nevada, Reno, which because I'm a three-time alum, a very proud three-time alum, but when I started, I definitely was something where at times I felt invisible across the university in my classrooms, and it's something that the university is committed to ensuring that everybody has that sense of belonging, that everyone should have that access to higher education. And in this effort of having been historically underrepresented, it's an opportunity to spotlight a group so that we can learn more, we can better understand each other, we can support each other. And I always say that spotlighting is not to isolate, it's not in any way to separate, but actually it helps to build those bridges that allow us to do the work together. And that's just the beautiful part. We love it.
Jeannette, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. You are watching 2+U Nevada.
Thank you.
You are watching 2+U Nevada. Joining me now, Gwen Taylor, the Executive Director of Accept. Gwen, I am so excited you're here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So tell folks at home what Accept does in our community and who you are with Accept.
I am the Executive Director and the Program Manager for Accept, and my nickname from the Job Corps students is the Sex Lady, because we did sex education out there for over 20 years. So Accept right now provides programs for people that are living with HIV. We provide them medical transportation to all of their doctor's visits, medical visits. We have a HER group, Health Education Risk Reduction Support Group, on the second Wednesday and the fourth Wednesday of the month. We also provide non-medical case management. We're not medical, but they can come to us for anything in the world and we'll help them.
How did Accept come to be?
My husband started it in '95 when 2 young men in our church passed away with AIDS, and he knew nothing about it. There was so much stigma in the church, and so the church people said, well, we didn't think you would want to go to see somebody that had AIDS, so they died without their pastor there. That's why we started it, and we started doing education in the community.
And it's so important that that education continues today. We've been talking about it. It seems like HIV/AIDS was a very serious point of discussion when I was growing up, just in the protection component, right? But has that message gone away?
It has not gone away, Sarah, but it's different because back in the 80s and 90s, people were dying. Late 80s, or in fact, my brother-in-law passed away of AIDS. He gave my sister Hep C, but not AIDS, thank God. So back then, people were dying, people were scared, but now people are on medications. They can live to be 80, 90 years old. So the young people are not afraid of it anymore. And there's medicine you can take too called PrEP and PEP. PrEP, you take it every day to prevent you getting HIV. You take PEP the morning after you have sex, if you find within 72 hours, if you find out the person you slept with had HIV. So now this younger crowd is not as afraid of HIV because there's medicine to prevent it, which is good, and there's medicine to keep you alive.
That's fantastic, but it's not cheap medicine.
No, 4 to 5, 6,000 a month medication regimens for my clients.
So that can really price people out of a home, or, you know, it really puts a burden on a household budget.
Most of our clients are receiving Ryan White funding and help with its AIDS drug, ADAP, AIDS Drug Assistance Program. It's called NMAP in Nevada Medication Assistant Program. So if you're at below or at the poverty level, you can get help with your medications. And I think, and then, I mean, our poverty level, it's really not bad for one person. One person can make quite a bit of money and still get Ryan White funding, which is the funding for our HIV patients.
Okay, well, speaking of funding, I can't believe you just told me that you lost 24% of your funding this year alone. So
Yes.
you're operating on a significantly smaller budget. So
Absolutely.
what can the community do to help such an important organization in our community?
You can come to my 77th birthday, 70s style birthday party, October 25th at the Boys and Girls Club, 1300 Foster Drive. And the reason for the fundraiser is to get funding for my programs. And so for the non-medical case management and the health education groups and medical transportation, our budget, you know, for 24 was 24% higher than 25. These monies will help us pay for things that the state won't pay for, which is food for our clients. We feed them twice a month for the support groups. We can buy gift cards, help them with groceries, help with rental payments, help with power bills. So this fundraiser is going to be fun. Dress in your 70s outfit. Come have a ball. We're having a gospel choir. We're going to have gospel and disco in the same room.
Oh my gosh, this sounds fantastic. And I gotta love you because, I mean, my mom is perpetually 39. And I love the fact that you're out there saying, come to my 77th birthday.
Absolutely. I don't care. I'm old, man, but I'm not, I don't look old. I don't feel old. So come and have a party.
And you know, it really is for such a good purpose.
cause. Yes.
Such a good reason. And what can the community do if they cannot attend
Yes.
your rockin' birthday? What can they do to help accept?
They can go to our website, www.acceptonline.org, and hit that donate button, and they can donate.
And can they reach out to you directly?
Yes, and we need volunteers too for the party.
Oh, good. So
I
that
need
sounds fun.
volunteers like yesterday.
Okay, so you're wanting volunteers for
Yes.
this party. And again, the party is October 25th. So you have some time to get in touch with Gwen, to get out
Yes.
there and have fun and help this organization that's doing so much for people in our community. You are an absolute blessing.
You are a blessing, and our phone number is 775-786-5886 if someone wants to volunteer.
And if there's a last message that you want the community to end on, what's the note that you want to tell folks?
The note I want to tell folks is HIV is still well and alive. People are still getting HIV, and I want you to protect yourself and be safe.
Yep, all right. Sage advice from the sex lady. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. You are watching 2+U Nevada.
You are watching 2+U Nevada, and I am so excited this afternoon to have Isla Friedenthal, the president and CEO of Nevada Women's Fund, joining us this afternoon. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, of course. Now, for folks at home, please tell them Nevada Women's Fund has been around for quite a long time.
Just over 4 decades.
That's fantastic. With what premise? What is the goal?
Great question. Nevada Women's Fund was founded in 1982 due to the frustration that local women had with the imbalance of funding going to women in women's organizations at the time. They believed that you could empower women through education, because if you educate a woman, you uplift a family, and when you uplift a family, you strengthen a community. So that was the premise of the fund. When it was founded, our mission has always been empowering women to achievement. Fast forward 42 years, $10.5 million later, we, I believe, have achieved our mission and are extending it to make sure we support women in all facets of life.
I can't believe you just said $10.5 million, because when I looked up the history, the very first year Nevada Women's Fund gave out $1,000.
You're so right. 2 $500 scholarships. And this year we awarded 149 scholarships totaling $525,000.
That is so awesome. You've got to be so proud.
So proud. I work for a board of directors, 35 incredible professionals that represent our community beautifully. And their passion for the work that we do at Nevada Women's Fund is just, it is an honor to serve with them and to work with them.
And let's talk about the work that you do, because it is much more than, I don't want to say just a scholarship, because that's not what I mean. It's much more than the scholarship program.
Nevada Women's Fund is the only women's fund in the state of Nevada. And so we really have the responsibility far beyond educating women to be a voice and an advocate, to ensure that there are no barriers to achievement, whatever those barriers are, and that we're advocating for equality in the workplace. So I say that we are staying in our lane, empowering women to achievement, but in the last 4 or 5 years, we've really extended that lane to ensure that we're supporting women after they cross the stage with that diploma and they're in their professional career. How are we supporting them through professional development, career advancement, and that advocacy in the workplace?
And you have so many events throughout the year and throughout the state, as you said. And it's hard to believe the only women's fund in the state of Nevada, but you're also covering the state of Nevada, including our rurals.
Our rurals are so important. As you know, the 4 leading industries in Nevada are mining, manufacturing, agriculture, and then tourism. So 3 of those obviously are predominantly in our rural communities. So if we are not putting our energy and our resources towards supporting the women who are living and educating in those communities, we're doing our state a disservice and we're doing these women a disservice. So this year, and actually for the past 3 years, 35% of our funding is going to the rural communities.
Wow.
And we spend time in each of those communities. So we have a lunch every year in Douglas, and we have a brunch in Yerington. And this Thursday, we will be in Elko for a dinner that I'm just so excited about.
And you were also talking about professional development. You're beginning a new professional development series as well.
Yeah, we've partnered with the International Women's Forum, very high level, by invitation only organization that I have not been invited to yet. But I'm very happy to be in partnership with them. We've created the She Shapes Nevada Women's Leadership Speaker Series. Our first event is October 16th. I would love for anyone to join us. The purpose of the first event is talking about how women can use board service to build on their leadership skills, to learn how to perform better professionally, but become leaders in the boardroom, cut their teeth on nonprofit boards, but maybe their goal is eventually to be on a paid board or an appointed commission and serve publicly. So true leadership skills for women who are in their careers and really wanting to elevate.
So important. And you're right, that board experience is so important on a woman's resume. And, you know, this really to me just seems like economic intelligence to be uplifting the women in our state. Are you surprised you're the only fund in the state of Nevada?
I don't know. I think that in a state like Nevada, even though Clark is so separate from northern Nevada, 16 of the 17 counties, let's take Clark out of it, they need the support and the resources of Nevada Women's Fund, and I feel like we're able to do that very well. I think Clark is pretty self-sufficient, not that our work doesn't extend towards Clark,
right?
But a lot of our focus is rural and northern Nevada. We've just finished the Best Places for Women to Work survey. I don't know if you've seen the results.
I didn't.
They were just announced last week. Really exciting data that's talking about what different businesses and organizations throughout northern Nevada are doing to support the unique needs of women in the workspace.
Yeah.
Really great data, and we were happy to honor and recognize some of those top performing companies this last week.
Well, we definitely have to take a look at that. So where do people go? What website and what phone number? And if women want to get involved with Nevada Women's Fund, who do they call?
So our website is fantastic, packed with information. So I always say go to nevadawomensfund.org, peruse that website. Best Places for Women to Work, those results are under Summit Project. So definitely take a look at that. if you want to get involved with Nevada Women's Fund, I say join us at any of our events. You know, we have events throughout the year. We celebrate Women's History Month and International Women's Day in March. We have Northern Nevada's largest business luncheon every May, Salute to Women of Achievement. And then one of our much anticipated events each fall, Power of the Purse. Yeah. All of the funds raised at these events go to our scholarship program. So you're supporting local women when you're attending, and you're also helping to raise awareness.
Isla, thank you so much. You're watching 2+U Nevada. Each day here at 2+U Nevada, we are hoping for you to participate in our show. That's the Plus You part. With that, today we are continuing our Mom to Mom Mondays. Friendly reminder, we named it that because we just like alliteration, but really, this is for any family member needing that tidbit of advice. For example, I would love some advice coming in from folks who are grandparents as well as parents. Provide advice to the younger generations based on your wisdom. For now, we have a Mom to Mom from Kristen. Kristen has a 7-year-old daughter, and just this weekend, she threw her son an 11-year-old birthday party. Happy birthday, buddy. Here's Kristen's Mom to Mom Monday.
Kristen with the Mom to Mom. For all you moms out there that have dealt with birthday parties for their children, it's a lot of stress, but I want to say a quick second that they actually are watching and appreciating what you're doing. They have gratitude for what you're doing. My son actually came aside to me as I was doing decorations and said, Mom, I appreciate that you're doing all this extra work and putting all your love into my party. And that just warmed my heart, so it was all worth it. So kids are really noticing these things, and moms, it's all worth it.
And what a sweet note to end our broadcast on today. Thank you for inviting us into your home this afternoon. We look forward to joining you every weekday at 3 for 2+U Nevada.